Security cameras cover Nancy Pelosi's home. On the street, guards like Fred Kennerly, with a private security company hired specifically to protect several residents in this affluent neighborhood.
Is she one of the clients?
No. No, she has her own security.
It's still unclear if Nancy Pelosi was home at the time of the vandalism, but this guard says this is not the first time these attacks take place.
The gender binary is a direct result of European colonization, and if we look globally and historically throughout the world and the ways that people have existed and talked about gender, the idea of there only being two genders is a new concept that is directly linked to white supremacy.
So I am Josh. This is my ex-wife Jennifer. Jennifer and I had Jace. Danielle is my current wife. Danielle and I had Michaela. Jennifer and Chantel are married. I donated my sperm to Chantel and Jennifer, and Chantel carried Camila. And that's everybody.
Nothing to our family.
Wait. Which side do you want on?
This side.
All right.
We were lied to by the scientists. We were lied to by Pfizer. We were lied to by the government. We were lied to by the Biden administration. We were lied to. I don't like being lied to. I don't know about you. And it makes me not believe these people. Now, as I've spoken out before, I got vaxxed twice, or I'm double vaxxed. My wife, being a doctor and seeing vulnerable patients, is triple vaxxed. But knowing now what I know then, knowing then what I know now, rather, would I have actually gotten vaxxed based on the information that my actual chances of death from COVID were exorbitantly low, and I wouldn't be preventing my parents from getting it? That was really what I was concerned about, because we were bubbled with my parents. Would I have gotten it? I don't know. I really don't know. I think maybe not. Because again, my personal risk when it comes to the vaccine was extremely low when it came to COVID. I'm a young, healthy male with no pre-existing conditions.
To destroy American democracy and move us toward an authoritarian society. And they are not really shy about acknowledging that. They look to people like Viktor Orban from Hungary as a leader that they want this country to emulate.
Yeah, so we should look up to the guy who has $3 million property. You're a fraud, Bernie. You are greedy. You have $3 million property. You're a fraud. You're a fake socialist. You're a fake socialist. You're a fake socialist, Bernie. You're a fake socialist. You're a fake socialist, Bernie. Bernie, give up your property, Bernie. Bernie, give up your property. Give up your property, Bernie. You're a fraud. You're a fraud. Everybody needs health care. Everybody needs health care. But only if you take a vaccine made by Pfizer or Moderna. You're a fraud. We need to tax the rich so that we can build more prisons and send money to the Ukrainians. And thank you for supporting lockdowns, because now Amazon can pay their employees a livable wage. Hey, Bernie has $3 million. He's a fraud. He's a fraud. Bernie's a fraud. $3 million homes.
I'll tell you what else.
$3 million homes. What was that?
It is about.
Tell you about my experiences being the crisis manager, the flu commissioner for Belgium, and highlighting the communication aspects there. And then you have one opportunity to do it right. I mean, day one is so important. In day one, you start your communication with the press, with the people, and you have to do it right. I mean, you have to go for one voice, one message. In Belgium, they chose to appoint a non-politician to do that. I mean, I have no party affiliations, and that makes things a little bit, at that time at least, a little bit easier because you're not attacked politically, majority, minority. That doesn't come into play, and that was a huge advantage. The second advantage is that you can play in Brussels the complete naive guy and get a lot more done than you would otherwise be able to do. You have to be omnipresent that first day or the first days so that you attract the media attention. You make an agreement with them that you will tell them all, and if they call, you will pick up the phone. When you do that, then you can profit from these early days to get complete carpet coverage of the field, and they're not going to search for alternative voices there. And if you do that, that makes things a lot easier. And then you have to say, okay, well, we will have H1N1 deaths. Of course, that would be unavoidable. I used there Sir Donaldson's quote where he said that in the UK, by the peak of the epidemic, 40 people would die per day at the end of the summer. So 62 at that time million people in the UK, 40 deaths a day. I worked it out for Belgium. That would be 7 deaths a day at the peak of the epidemic. I used that in the media. 7 Belgian flu deaths per day at the peak of the epidemic would be realistic. That is true in every year, even interpandemically. That is very, very conservative. However, talking about fatalities is important because when you say that, people say, wow, what do you mean? People die because of influenza? And that was a necessary step to take. And then, of course, a couple of days later, you had the first H1N1 death in the country. And the scene was set and it was already talked about.
If your government decided to freeze your bank accounts today, do you think they might have some power over you tomorrow? Did you know this has already been tested successfully in a first world country this year? What if I told you there were people planning to take complete control of your money and therefore control of your life, your choices, and your future? Some might call you a conspiracy theorist for even thinking it, except it is happening in plain sight. It's just being positioned as something that's good for you. And what if I told you the dominant countries of the world are leading you to believe they are in conflict when they're actually working together for the sake of a one-world monetary system? It's called misdirection. And until you see what's hiding in the hands behind their backs, you will have no choice but to follow along with their agenda. You will own nothing and be happy. And apparently, this refers to your money now. It's not my saying, it's officially published text within the World Economic Forum, a highly inclusive club of billionaires, global policymakers, and heads of central banks, all of which who met in Davos this year to further this reset agenda. Your only way out of this is to be 3 steps ahead, is to play them at their own game and think for yourself, and know the central bank's plans before they execute them.